Welcome back to the Plunder Den for part 2 of AdeptiCon. We're going to start off with off the top here with the Golden Demon entries. In my very humble opinion, the Plunder Den has picked Kelsey Graham's Ghost Boat. I absolutely love this piece. This is my favorite of this year's Adepticon. All right, so the first day of gameplay for me started on the Thursday. So it's like the second day, really, of the con. But really the first day, a lot of people were playing games. And the first day, Firelock Games ran several scenarios. So this is a raid on Cuba, and I didn't actually play in this one. I almost did. They were short a few players, and I almost ended up playing this one. But I did do the Deerfoot raid, which we're going to look at in a minute. But I wanted to show you pictures of the epic table that they played on for this raid of Cuba. It's so amazing. The buildings, the structures, the ships, how much miniatures are on the table. I saw a lot of people playing this throughout. They had it running for 3 or 4 days there, and people were having a lot of fun playing it. And it looked really cool. But as I mentioned earlier on, I was trying to limit myself to only a few events so I could get around to do other things and film what I just filmed. So here's some more still pictures of it, so you can see some more details of the table. Fantastic table. Love all the terrain. Looked very interesting, and like I said, I almost played that one. So then move into the Deerfoot raid. This is the other one that I actually was signed up for. it was really a really cool scenario too. Essentially, you have the English kind of defending this fortification, and the native players were trying to raid this fort. So native slash French, and in the scenario we played, we have a sentry, the guy in the yellow coat there on the wall. You're supposed to roll to see if he observes anybody in the tree lines. If the natives are in the tree lines, you can't see them. And let's just say he never saw them for a long time. And they got right into the village, and they're right inside our houses already before we started waking up. So we were a little flat-footed. We almost made a comeback and came back, but it was a lot of fun. So this is a table that Tyler was running. It's Blood and Crowns, which was a super epic, awesome table. Playing a scenario called Chivalry is Dead. I think essentially the English are trying to come up on this battle line, and it looks like the French have cannons and crossbows and all sorts of manner of horribleness on this wall here. But it looked like a really cool scenario. And it's nice to see Blood and Crowns represented at this event. And I imagine it'll only grow, and we'll see more of it in the future. Definitely. Tyler did a great job running the scenario here. Everybody over there was having a lot of fun. Heard lots about the table. And people are really interested in the Blood and Crowns game. I know it's something that people stopped and looked at. It really caught people's eyes. And like I said, I really look forward to seeing Blood and Crowns being represented more in the future. Great job, Tyler. All right, moving on to... I'm just generally looking at some of the tables. These were set up for demos for Blood and Plunder. They had several tables set up all out through the area. There is even a Blood and Valor one people were learning on. So we had lots of tables this year. A whole section of that whole hall was all dedicated to Firelock games and demo tables. And they were pretty well booked up. Like most of those tables were running like all the time. There was people at them learning to play Blood and Plunder. And also Port Royale also was running scenarios as well. Now, we'll go through those all in the pictures here. I kind of filmed all of them. But these are the Blood and Plunder tables. And I think the next up is Port Royale. So they ran some, like a campaign kind of thing over a few days in the Port Royale section here. A few tables dedicated for that, which was really awesome. Eric was running the demos over here and did a fantastic job of running the Port Royale events over at the conference center. But here's a look at some of the tables here, some unique tables for the Port Royale campaign that was going on. So that was also a lot of fun. A lot of people were talking about that as well. So a lot of excitement going on. So here's another look at some of the tables that are set up for... I imagine they were going to be eventually the land battles for the land tournament for Blood and Plunder. But they were also being used for demoing the game. And later in this episode here, I managed to finally get that match. Me and Joseph sat down and played out a match. Actually on that table I just passed. But I wanted you to get a look at all the different possibilities, different tables we had set up. Like I said, there was a lot of demos going on, which was fantastic. A lot of people wanted to learn to play Blood and Plunder. A lot of people learned to play here and went downstairs and bought product. So we were one floor up above the vendor hall, so not too bad. You only had to go down this one set of stairs, or the escalators, to get to the vendor hall. So after I finished the Deerfoot raid scenario, I had time to do some camera work. So there was about 4 hours before I started my Blood and Valor tournament, and I kind of put all my tournament play on one single day, so that way I had more time to do other things. So I had some free time to do some filming and give you an idea what it was like in the hall while we were playing our scenarios. None of the major tournaments had started. It was just mostly scenario play and free game time as well as a lot of scenarios being taught. Oak and Iron was being taught, Port Royal, Blood and Plunder, Blood and Grounds. There was several stuff going on at that in the very first morning on that Thursday. But here's just a closer look at some of it. I was snooping around with my camera, watching them play. And really, again, this is what I wanted time to do, is we'll be able to do film some of this stuff so people can see it. Not everybody can attend the conference, and it's always good to have some images of what was actually going on during the event. Joseph was running this Cuban raid here, and he was actually on this table a lot, running this scenario. And I know a lot of people appreciated it. He was there to help with a lot of the rule sets for other things too, because he was nearby. I know he was getting asked to help with other rules and other things, but Joseph knows the rules so well, so someone to talk to about it. Then we had Jaden over here running some Blood and Plunder demos at the other tables over here. I also want to do a shout out to, I missed Riley, who was running the Deerfoot scenario. Riley did an awesome job. He was the one running our table when I was playing, so I certainly want to do a shout out for Riley as well. Great group of people this AdeptiCon to help out with the gameplay. All right, here's another look at the tables. I like how they had all the sheets printed out, actually with the cards on it. It was pretty awesome. I actually like those sheets. I think I could use those. Those are helping the newer players, but they can help a player like me. Sometimes I get lost sometimes on my cards. But again, Jaden here doing a great job helping out with demoing Blood and Plunder. There's Robert. Robert joined me in Calgary at the Sentry Box, and he came out this year's AdeptiCon, which is really awesome to see Robert there. He was playing the Deerfoot scenario after me, but he was watching me play mine. I think they fared better at the beginning than we did. They were awake right away, which is really helpful when your guys are awake. Otherwise, you don't know they're coming in, and it's almost was too late. But we did get a lot of reinforcements in our scenario, so that helped us later on in the match, and we almost won it. But again, here's some more images of the scenarios being played out. Over here, they had Blood and Valor being played out. I believe Tyler's running this table as well. He did the Blood and Crowns and Blood and Valor, the demoing of the game, which is awesome. A lot of people were interested in the Blood and Valor too, as well. And it was just before the tournament play, so we were about to start playing the tournament for Blood and Valor. And I was going to go and help out. Here's Dan.
Hi, Dexter.
Doing some demoing of Blood and Plunder. Yeah, definitely the Blood and Pigment team was out in force this year. Lots of their members here, which was awesome to see. Helping out with all the demos, and it was fantastic. And first time getting to meet a lot of these people. I haven't met them all in person. So it was nice to meet them. Some of them I met at the AdeptiCon 2 years ago, but some of them weren't there, so I got to meet them as well. I also got to meet Fernando. I think he had to go home a little bit earlier, but it was really cool to meet him in person. There's another member of the Blood and Pigment team, Garrett. He was also running demos through this entire event as well. Blood and Plunder events. People who play Blood and Plunder. So we had a lot of good representation there, a lot of people helping out, teach people to play Blood and Plunder. And I think that really, really, truly makes a difference, is people learning to play the game and then being able to go to the vendor hall and pick it up. There was a picture of Riley there at the Deerfoot raid. These are some of the pictures during that match. You can see the guys climbing the wall right away. Yeah, they were already in my bedroom before we even woke up. So, but anyways, here's some still shots of the event as well. I was kind of all over the place. Taking shots, taking pictures, waiting for that Blood and Valor tournament. So I got to film these promotional tables that were built by Jason Klotz and miniatures painted by Fernando. They're the first thing you saw when you came in, and got you to a little taste of all the different factions set up on their own little tables. So these were awesome. Definitely caught a lot of people's eyes when they came in. Stop people to look at what's this Blood and Plunder all about, and kind of get a little taste of all the different factions. So a very cool idea, well executed. This is my favorite, actually, the Dutch one. I like the water effect was really well done, but they were all amazing. Here's a picture of them all out front. So when you came in that hall, it impacted right away. You knew where the Blood and Plunder section was. And you got a good taste of everything with these awesome little demonstration tables, or sample tables of the different factions. Fantastic job, both of Fernando and Jason. They were amazing, and I think really helped draw people in. There's Dan again. It was lunchtime. Okay, so this is Josh. He was running Oak and Iron, so I can't forget Oak and Iron. He was running demos as well in the morning, and then he ran the Oak and Iron tournament as well. So it was nice having Josh here as well to support the Oak and Iron fans and the people here to play Oak and Iron. A game that I would really like to spend more time doing. I don't spend as much time on Oak and Iron, but I certainly would want to. I still have some ships to paint for that. And definitely some of the expansions interest me. Some of the larger galleons and 6 raids and stuff like that. That Firelock Games has released. If nothing else, just to paint them. But Oak and Iron, I did enjoy playing it. But I'm trying to be involved in everything is really challenging but I try my best to try to give a little bit of content for everything, so everybody can see what's going on. But this is actual images of the actual tournament happening in live, and they're playing the Oak and Iron tournament, so which was fantastic. They had their it looks like they have 3 or 4 tables for Oak and Iron. So this is the Blood and Bayonets demo table. So I've already released the video. You might have seen it already, where me and Rufus and Drew Saxton did a demonstration of Blood and Bayonets. So we filmed the whole thing. So look out on my channel on Plunder Den for that video if you're interested in how this went. And see, it's actually a really good video. It does cover out most of the rules. So we kind of, it was an interesting scenario. We kind of kind of went down a lot of different paths, let's just say, so you can learn how to play the game. And I think it was a good demo. So check that out. But here's a few pictures of the table. So this table was actually right when you came in. It was on the other side, not where the Blood and Plunder stuff was. But I can't remember what the name of the game is. I think I go by the instructions for the game here in a sec. But this table's epic. I mean, this is a epic winter table. I mean, definitely this would be something I would play bolt action on. It's really cool. You can play Blood and Valor on this really too. But let's see here. I think it's let me see, chain of command. I think that's what it says on there. And a really amazing table. I had to stop and take photos of it. It was really well executed. It was early in the morning, so there wasn't really anybody there, so I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. But I really want to photo it. All right, so now we're leading into the Blood and Valor tournament. So I got a chance to take a picture of all the video footage of all the tables before we started playing on it. So we had a nice little wide range of different tables to play on. This is more of a cityscape. This is more of a countryside with a burning tank in the middle. Actually, the burning tank was very helpful for cover. But I think I actually lost on this table, unfortunately. I did win one game and lost two, but the two people I lost to finished first and second, so that's what I keep telling myself. And then I brought my armored train, which I thought was a really cool table. This was a tough table, because you only had a couple places to get through, and yeah, you kind of funnel all the gunfire in certain areas. Then you got kind of like a town square one, with a lot of ruins on it. And here is some more closer pictures of the train and other stuff. So it was nice I was able to bring some terrain, and we used it for some of the Blood and Valor tournament as well. I had some trenches and other stuff that I built for that I could bring along with me to the Blood and Valor tournament. So those are all the tables before we got started. So those are the different ones you could play on, and we got the role to pick which tables we played on. Here's some images. I kind of stopped. I think Dan was beside me on every match, so we just kept sliding down the table there. I was always next to him. I was always playing the table, and he was next to me. But anyways, I just wanted to show you while the tournament was playing. I played Tyler on my second game, and that's the gentleman that won right there in the orange. Kevin Shebenes won the tournament. I actually played him in the first match, and I thought it was fairly close. I almost won that one. But he ended up winning the entire Blood and Valor tournament. So I wanted to certainly do a shout out for him as well. But it was a lot of fun. I really do enjoy the Blood and Valor tournaments. I really enjoy that play. But here's my consolation prize. A picture was Kai and Rufus.
How many people are playing in this?
Anyways, it was a really fun tournament. I really enjoyed myself.
I'm in the C tournament.
All right, so now we're getting ready for the LAN tournament.
I just staggered
this is
playing time, you know.
Everybody getting ready for the first match, so I got around and did some filming. There's Robert again, getting ready for tournament play. So this was the first, after the Blood and Valor tournament, the first Blood and Plunder tournament that they had. I didn't attend this one, mainly because, again, what I mentioned, I wanted to leave myself more time, and I was able to come around and film this. It's hard when you're in the tournament play, even though I did get some pictures during the Blood and Valor tournament. I mean, I guess I could stop, but you're on a time limit, right? So you have to keep playing. It's not fair to your opponent go wandering off filming stuff. So I got an opportunity to take some stills and some shots of the gameplay here of the land tournament, which was awesome. And got some really good images of some of the miniatures. Some of the miniatures were just outstanding, like paint jobs on these guys. They're really cool. So I went down to the ground level. Tried not to disturb too many people. I got some pictures. I think that's the Dutch force Dan was running with there in the orange. But it was a lot of fun. So I did some more filming of some of the other tables that were in that hall. There was bolt action going on there. There was This is Flames of War. These are the bolt action tables. They had them all set up. Then they had like a giant Gettysburg battle or a Napoleonic battle. I think this was maybe a Napoleonic one on this giant two tables they got going on here. These are the really smaller miniatures, but epic battles, some massive sizes. This mat, I think I mentioned this before. I believe it's a cigar box battle mat. It has a lot of farm fields on it. I kind of want to get this mat, even just for my 28 mil. Just kind of have it like break up. I could put a road through there and just say they're just farms and stuff like that through there. I don't know. I might get that mat. I really like it. And then I'm just wandering over there, poking around on the bolt action tables. I think they're. I think was it the last time I did want to go in there because they were all playing in there and I didn't want to disturb them. But this time I just kind of went over there when nobody was there, so just to see the tables and kind of see what's going on. So up next was the battle in the 3 years in the making. I never got a chance to play with Joseph last time, so this time we made a time to make sure it happened this time. I was playing King Golden Cap, and he was playing Spanish.
Okay, Joseph's ready.
He's been 3 years ready. I think I ended up playing more possum than anything, trying to hide from them. What I didn't realize actually with King Golden Cap's faction is that they have to take bows. And I actually just chose not to take bows because the army list didn't tell me I couldn't, and just put them as more clubs, which made it really tricky to me to try to get them. But I did get to them eventually, and it was closer than it looks. But it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it, and I look forward for us to meet again in another match. All right, so this is the beginning of the C tournament. The boys are all dressed up, ready to go, and we were ready. This is a tournament that I was in. This is on the Saturday, and here's some footage of the tournament itself in action.
4? Yes. Oh my God. Oh, jeez. Well, that should make an interesting battlefield, anyways. Very cool.
Joseph just got, and his partner there he was playing against, got 4 event cards. It's just kind of crazy. I was just mentioning it. It's really going to make that battlefield interesting. I played Jake in my first match, and it was a little bit closer, but he definitely beat me. And then the second match, I was fighting against the Galleon, and yeah, that wasn't really great. My Barkalungas just got shot up. I'm not going to give up on that list, though. I think there's potential there. I just needed to run at him faster.
Yeah, what Dan said.
Yeah. We broke it already.
Broke it already?
We broke it already.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's the Galleon itself that I was fighting against. Josh had to fight him next, and Josh didn't do as well. It just did as well as I did. Both of our ships got sank. But overall, it was a super fun tournament. Unfortunately, my third opponent didn't make it back to their table, so I got a win by default. But it's not really how you want to get a win, but it was unfortunate that I wasn't able to play my third match. But it did give me extra time to go filming around and check out some other stuff. And check out some of the tables and really get some really good footage of it. I was able to take pictures of each person's ship because they were on the tables. So you guys can take a look at all the different ships that were playing in the tournament. Yeah. Just tell everybody ignore me while I'm watching everybody play. But I still had lots of fun, and I always enjoy playing, win or lose. I always have a good time playing Blood and Plunder in ship battles, and like I said, I'm not going to give up on that list yet. I think there's a gentleman that ran 3 Barkalongas, and he actually, I think he finished in the top 4, so there's some precedent for my list. I should have been more aggressive. I think that's my issue, is I was just trying to maybe it was from the match I had was Joseph. Too much playing possum and not enough just going straight at it. My crew actually, I had some pretty decent guys on my ship, enough I just needed to board it. So yeah, there's that 3 Barkalonga list right there. And I think I could have done better. So I'm not going to give up on that one. I'm going to keep running on it, maybe tweak it a little bit and get some more gameplay with it. Even with the Galleon, I still think if I would have closed the gap, I was going like 2 sail. I could have gone much faster and try to close the gap and get to the ship and board it. He only had Sea Dogs on the ship. But yeah, I didn't. I was kind of in the weeds hiding. And he just shot me up, and it was ugly. He sank both my ships. But I think if I had closed that gap right at the beginning and gone full tilt, he would have maybe sank one of my ships, but the other one I might have been able to board him with. And the crew I had was better than the ones he had on the ship. So that was my only chance in that one. Unfortunately, it was unfortunate I drew that ship in the first place. Would have been easier if I was playing against somebody else. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And I still had a lot of fun. Even getting my ship blown up, it was still a lot of fun. Here was another interesting, different 2-ship list. There was a Proagua and looks like a frigate. Or no, that was a sloop. There was a sloop with it. Another kind of multi-ship. They made the point total to 250 this year, so there was a lot of opportunities for You know, bigger lists, a lot of bigger ships, tons of flutes, as you can see. There's a galleon, and then there's a lot of multi-ships like mine. Lots of light frigates and bigger boats. Some of the smaller ships had, you know, strong, fully manned crew. Here's some images of me playing Jake with my 2 Barcalangas. And then there's Jake playing the galleon there. Oh, yeah, look at that. It was again, it was a ton of fun, and I got lots of pictures and lots of images, and which was totally awesome. See, there was the beginning. I should have just sailed straight at it. Anyways, there's my ship smoking, going down. That was my second ship. I think the other one was already on fire. And there's Jake's ship's on fire too, from the same person. So here's images of all the different ships. So I want you to be able to see all the different ships that were entered in the tournament, and you can see all the different ones. I don't think I added my ships in there, but you've already seen my ships. So, but all the different variations. But you can see there's a lot bigger boats or multi-ships or fully manned ships. A lot of crew on them. But I would say the Flute ran the game tournament this year. But I think Dan was the big winner. He had a light frigate. So, but again, bigger ships. There's a galleon, another flute. That's Jake's flute. He won best painted, which is awesome. That was a really well painted ship. Very impressive. And there's Dan's is on the other side. I'm gonna get to the other side of the table, and I'll show you Dan's ship. There it is, right there. Yeah, really cool. A tip on it. There's Dan getting his award.
Yes! We have a few special awards. The best painter, the flute by Jake Ferris. We have 2 different awards for display boards. One for Christian Bush, another one for Charles Young. Yes, Christian and Charles are both getting a Kickstarter exclusive Metal Morgan with the special helmet.
And there's a picture of the winners all together. Great picture there. And then there's all the volunteers and myself in there that helped out with the event this year at AdeptiCon, which is a great bunch of people. I think there was a few missing, but most of the people were in the picture. So right, so the last thing, one of the things that I managed to get, and some of these are quickly, briefly went by, but this is the Army Parade. So they had just announced the winner, and people are actually just packing up their armies. But I figured this would be a good time to get in here and maybe get some images of some of the armies. This year they allowed more than just GW stuff in there, so there was a kind of a mixture of games being presented here. But in years past, I just can't get in usually to this event because it's so crowded. You can't get to any of the tables, or you have to wait hours to get in there. I thought I would get an opportunity. I was coming back to the hotel, and I figured, oh, you know what? Maybe this is the time. This is the time to get it, and I'll film as many as I can. As they're tearing them down, I'm trying to film them. Just so I can get some images of them. There was a lot, obviously, on here. You can see how many different tables there were, and some of them had already packed up before I could even get there. They must have had a more easier table to clean up, but some of these are amazing, and I wanted to make sure I got some of them on image on the camera here. The Army Parade, which is really, really cool. Let's go over and check this other side out. This is kind of an interesting one. This one's really cool. I don't know who the official winner was. They were just announcing it, and I was coming down the hallway, and I realized what was going on. Whipped my phone out, and people started to dissipate. I walked all the way around the tables and got to the far side of it, and in that time frame, there was people that had packed up their entire thing already. It's kind of crazy, actually, but anyways, I was filming out what I could, so you can kind of see some of the tables that were being presented at the Army Parade. It's a really cool event. I understand that they're going to expand on this, and more other companies can be involved in it, which I think is really cool. To involve other game companies and other different armies, and nice variety for people to look at. So up next is some pictures of me and Dan and Tyler and Joseph and Rufus and Mike Tunez. We were just cleaning up upstairs and getting everything loaded into Jason Klotz's truck. He brought all that stuff up there, so I really want to recognize Jason. He did a lot of work for this to make this event great. So thank you, Jason. That was awesome. So this was a ship given to Rufus the very next day by Eddie Harris, a young gentleman that came in and gave it to him for Blood and Bayonets, so the C component. So it's a really cool schooner that we can use modeled for Blood and Bayonets. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be a C component of that game, which is awesome. So here's some more pictures of me with Josh, and then this is me with JP. So this is on the last day. I went upstairs again to the historical section, and JP was going over Sail Power, a game he was running at AdeptiCon. I went by the table several times on several different days, and actually I think this filming of the table was like the second day or something at Adepticon. He had it all set up there, and I had filmed it already. You can see it was pouring outside that day. And then they also had the smaller scale version of the same game, which was kind of cool. They had two different versions of it, the big scale and the small scale. And then he had this sci-fi game they were playing as well. So I had a chance to catch up with JP and have a good conversation about this game and just things in general. So it was an awesome way to kind of end my con, was to have a conversation with JP. So this is me leaving the con for the last time. I didn't actually go back in there after this point. I went for lunch. And the next video will be focused on Milwaukee itself, the things I did in between the events. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.